Hey, in today's video, we're going to be covering the code behind Dub.sh. Dub.sh is an open source link management tool. It helps you create short links and then also track their performance. It's an awesome project to learn from for full stack development, so let's dive in. First, we'll start with the demo. So this is the platform. Landing page is really cool. By the way, any project like this, because everything is open source, I love to learn from it. Even if it's just the landing page, there's so much you can see. I mean, even here, like the demos right inside the landing page are like awesome. You can learn so much about what the platform actually does just from the landing page without even signing up. Because it's all a Next.js project, a big advantage of using something like Next.js, both for the landing page and for the app, is that you can sort of bring components in from the app into the landing page with so easily. Also huge advantages to using things like Framer and Webflow and Wix for your landing page, or really anything else, because then you get to use marketing teams and dev teams separately. But there are some really nice benefits as well if a dev can control both sites and it's all sort of in one place in one repo. This is the platform itself. This is my account. You can sort of create a new project. Let's go and do that right now. Test, demo, video. This is the domain it will get shortened to. Obviously, we could change that to a domain that we actually own. This is a really nice onboarding flow. I love these subtle animations as well. So all of I think that's done with Framer Motion in the code. But yeah, anyway, take a look at that for yourself. We're not going to cover that here. But it's just sort of a really nice way to get started. And here as well, I love these that sort of you can click see. And we are now creating a new link. Anyway, so let's give it a URL. See what this looks like. This is going to shorten to our domain. Could be Google and so on. We can do a whole bunch of stuff over here. You can see what the OG images look like and so on, and then we can create the link. Obviously, we need to go and connect our actual domain to make this work. You can do that here. It's not going to work. We covered a whole bunch of stuff around setting up custom domains with Vercel in the previous video. So if you're interested in that, take a look. Also look at Vercel Platform Starter Kit. It's all open source and makes it really easy to go and do that yourself. Anything else you like the look of here, just take a look at the code because it's all there and all ready to be used. Obviously, here you see it here. I was looking for more of those, but here I can see sort of the edits and so on. If I click E, I can go and edit. That's really nice. So let's dive into the actual code now that we've seen a bit about the platform itself. A place I really like to start when I'm looking at a new project is the package.json. Well, two things I like to do at first. One, look at the directory structure, and two, look at the package.json because it gives you an idea of how the project's been built. It's using Prisma, great. I know how to use that. It's using Tailwind. It's using Vercel for all sorts of things, and so on. So that gives you a really good idea immediately, how it's working behind the scenes, the SWR package, and so on. And I also love to do this because you get to see. I mean, obviously, each of these packages represents thousands of lines of code, maybe hundreds or thousands of hours of developer time creating this stuff. So being able to sort of always stay on top of what the best packages are, what's available, is super helpful. So for example, Radix UI, I actually haven't used it a lot. I know it's super popular these days, but here you can see, okay, this package is using Radix UI. Why don't we take a look and see what that's about if we haven't seen it before? React Email, another one, and so on. So the first package we're actually going to look at is ContentLayer. ContentLayer, it basically allows you to create your own blog within your platform with these via markdown files. So let's take a look at what this looks like. Over here, you can see we have the changelog, all the updates. He puts a blog post out about it. So here we have monthly summary. So what does that look like? Here it is. This is the blog post for monthly summaries, and here you can see the previous post and so on, and this page. So this is going to be at the changelog path in the Next.js project. We'll get there in a second. But before that, I'll show you sort of how it is all set up. So the things to know about ContentLayer, one, there's this ContentLayer directory. You don't need to worry about that. It generates it for you automatically in the setup. The first thing to do, take a look at the ContentLayer docs, by the way. If you go to this page, what is it? ContentLayer.dev, docs, getting started. They'll show you very quickly how to get set up. I'm going to show you how it works in this project. So the first thing to do is define the different types of your pages. So this is going to be a changelog post, and it's going to point to things in changelog star.mdx. And if you look in the post directory here, you'll see changelog, and the other one is going to be legal. So here are his legal posts. Legal posts is just two of them, privacy and terms, and the rest of the posts are all changelog. So that's basically just defining the file structure. And what a post actually looks like is this. So you have some metadata at the top, and then you have markdown at the bottom. So in the metadata, we have title, published at, summary, and so on, the author, Stephen. So if we take a look here, you'll see that title, it's required, it's of type string, published at as well, type string, and so on. So these are the 5 fields that are required, and you'll notice that they are in the metadata at the top. At the top of every file. Here's another one, and so on. And so this post is about duplicating links when he added that feature. So this is sort of giving structure for ContentLayer to know what to do. It points to where the posts are. That's half the picture. Let's just take a look at the, so here he added team invites and so on. The last one was monthly summaries. So here you can go, it goes to changelog monthly summaries. If we search for this in the project, you know what, we could probably even just go here. Monthly summaries, you can see monthly summaries, all this text over here, shout out and so on, is going to be here in the page. So yeah, that's basically how it appears in the site. So how do we actually find how does this markdown connect to what's happening in the code? So a good way to do this, I'm just going to sort of go to changelog and with Command P, and you can see we go to app UI home and it brings us to changelog. So this this page basically is probably exported somewhere else as well, because it's not in the pages directory. Anyway, but this is the page. Here you can see, check out changelog to see what's new on Dub. Another great way to do this is, you know, just being able to search the top of the page and so on, and you can find the text somewhere in the project. But this is basically what's happening here is we're getting all the changelog posts from ContentLayer generated. And this is basically automatically generated for us. If we take a look at what that file looks like, it basically just exposes the types we created ourselves in the ContentLayer file. So we have changelog posts and legal posts, and these are basically going to be used in the site. If we want to take a sort of a look at the legal post, we can sort of jump here, and you can see this is the legal post. What we're doing is we're fetching it from ContentLayer generated, we're finding the post, and then we're basically passing it to the legal page, and then here we're going to put the text. So the legal page is going to look something like this. It's got a title, it's got the MDX here, this is basically the code we're getting, and then updated. So why don't we even try and find that page, or not? I don't want to get too lost. Maybe we won't, but basically there's a legal page on the site that looks something like this. I'm sure if we go to the footer we would find it. But if we jump back to the changelog, so the changelog as well, we're going to get all changelog posts basically, and that's from generated. And then over here we're actually going to map through each of them, and then we're going to basically show what show the post on the site. So this is the component for that. Each component has got a link basically that sends us to changelog / whatever the slug of the post is. You can see when it's been published, you can see the post title, you can probably see a post image here somewhere that I'm not seeing. Published at, I'm definitely missing something. But anyway, this is what it looks like. And then if we look in the UI, again, we're at the changelog. And so you can see here, this is what each post looks like. And then when we click into it, we're going to get to a page like this, changelog slug. And if we quickly go and take a look at what that looks like, so it's probably going to be something similar. Let's do fine. So this is the page. So you can see the page is changelog / slug, and then this is the page, and so on. And so here you can see, where is it? All changelog posts. What we do is we find the post. If there's no post, I guess we just return because there's nothing to show. This is a slug that doesn't exist. And then here's the post itself. This is generate metadata, we'll cover in a second. But sorry, here's the post itself. Here you can see this is a new thing in Vercel as well, sorry, Next.js. It's a not found error that you can use basically with the new Next router. And here is the page itself. And this, like similar to the legal page, is just going to have all the content from the markdown file. You're going to find a title in here somewhere, you're going to find an image, and you're going to find the content and so on. So that's how this works. Something interesting here that I'll cover quickly is this is part of new Next.js app router, where you're not using Next/head anymore package if you used that in the past, but now you are using this for SEO, and it's pretty clean, honestly. You put it in the page.tsx file, or I think you can also put in a layout file if SEO like metadata is shared between many pages. And here basically like is where you define everything around the sort of the SEO and like metadata for the site. And also you can auto generate these pages at build time. So here you can see every single post. This is basically telling Next.js when you're building the project, I want you to go through all the changelog posts and I want you to create a page for it right now. So we have static pages that are built for us at build time, which leads to great performance. You don't need it. The site would work completely fine without it as well, but it's that extra performance boost, which is really nice and good for SEO as well. Cool. So that's everything around ContentLayer. So again, if we're like just a quick recap on ContentLayer, maybe even we'll do this from their documentation now we understand it a bit. So what they do if you go to ContentLayer.dev, set up the project. This is a Next.js project we set up. We're going to install the ContentLayer packages and FNS. We add a bit of stuff to Next.js configuration. We didn't cover that, but yeah, we need to do that. We need to add some TypeScript configuration as well. Add something to the get ignore. And here we are. Add your post type. So here you can see we add something called post. We have title and date. And here we have the URL, which is a computed field. And then here you can see we go in and put 3 markdown posts as an example. We saw all of this already. And then if you want to have a blog homepage, you do something like this. You can see all the posts, we're sorting through them, we're mapping through them, and then we're showing each card on the page. And here is sort of the card. We did all this before, so that's why I'm just going through this really quickly. I don't want to bore you too much. And if you want to add a page for post itself, so you can add something at post slug page. This is just regular Next.js, and again, you can find all posts, and you can find the post to display, and then go and display it. So yeah, that's everything around ContentLayer. So hopefully you learned something new there. Not an expert, I'm sure there's a lot of other stuff you can do there. You can also, I guess in the future, they're going to be supporting things like Contentful and maybe even Notion. So the idea there, by the way, is you'll be able to, I guess it's already even working with Notion. That's really cool. But instead of having those markdown files, you just write in Notion itself, and then from Notion, basically, like that markdown you wrote in Notion or just a regular post you wrote in Notion, you could then bring them into ContentLayer, and it won't be the markdown files of the project. You basically be able to bring it in, and yeah, that seems like a super nice way to be able to write content for your blog, basically, and not have it in the repo and just sort of regular tools you're used to writing with. Obviously, Contentful a lot more built out and is better served for this purpose. But anyway, this is just planned right now. It's not there. Cool. The next thing I wanted to go through, package JSON. So ContentLayer was one. What else is cool here? I think we'll take a look at React Email. So React Email is a package that helps you create emails in the project in Next.js. So I guess here as well, similar to ContentLayer, it creates a .react email folder. And if you actually want to see the email, so here you can see click summary email. And here you can basically see the email that is going to be sent to our users is here in the in our Next.js project. So let's take a look at what this looks like. So I have it open here basically. This is really easy to open. It's like there's a command for it, but what is it? Basically, when you run yarn dev or like npm run dev, basically it's going to open a few things up. It's going to open Next dev, Prisma Studio to look at your database, and then also email dev on port 3333. So here you can see that's open here, and here you can see all the different emails, and the click summary email that we took a look at, you can see it's here. So for example, and this component, you can pass it into your code directly to send email. So let's also take a look here. You can see sort of the source code, the HTML that's generated from it, and the plain text email that's generated from it. Let's go back to the visual editor of it, or not visual editor, but the visual version. If we want to do, let's say, dub summary, let's take a look again, click summary. So let's see where this shows up. So I don't want it to be 30-day, I want it to be 10-day. Let's save this file and see what happens. I might have done this in the wrong place. Okay, let's make these 10. Oh, I've done something wrong. Yeah, I think that had to do with something I was playing around with before, but your 10-day summary basically has been changed, and obviously you can change this text to whatever you want. There are links. This is like a really nice email editor, so you can even go and send it. What happens if I send it? So I can go and put my email in, and I can send it to someone. Powered by Resend. Okay, interesting. So Resend, by the way, I think is a new, well, I don't know how new it is, but it's a YC company. Maybe this page will load in a second. And I guess they are the guys behind, or the girls behind, a React Email. So email for developers and so on. Yeah, backed by YC. Cool. So that's everything around that. Oh, and how is this actually used in the code? So let's say we want to see the domain deleted email. Let's see where it's referenced in the code. Here you can see I'm going to call send email, and this is just, well, this is a cron job. Every time that domain is deleted at some point, like when this cron job is run, it's going to send me or send the email to whichever emails there are with this subject line, your domain XYZ has been deleted, and it's going to send me the React email. And if you take a look here, we just import it from domain invited. Here you can say invalid domain email, and the send, where was the send email? What does that look like? Send email is here, so you can see again it's using resend here to go and send it. So that's quite cool. And yeah, it's super nice, especially if you're a small team or even a solo founder, or developer working on the project. If you have all your emails here, it's just sort of having everything in one place and not having to jump to 500 places. It's huge benefits to that, just being sort of able to change it in your code and so on. Now your emails have been updated next time you send them. So that's sort of really nice. And yeah, these visual editors are also awesome. Here you can sort of see the login link email, and so you don't need to actually go and send your emails to see what they look like, and so you don't need to be working with 5 different systems. So that can be really, really handy. Here's sort of the resend page that it loaded. Email for developers, the best API to reach humans instead of spam folders, build, test, and deliver transactional emails at scale. Okay, don't know too much about them. Always curious about the pricing with something like this starting out up to 3,000 emails a month for free with your domain. And 50,000 emails for $20 doesn't actually sound too bad. That's quite cool. But yeah, anyway, take a further look at that if you want. The last 2 things we're going to cover in the video is Radix UI. So this is used the component library. Maybe some of you are familiar with it, but yeah, there's hundreds of component libraries out there. There's always sort of a new flavor, what's around, but these are pretty cool. Basically here you can just sort of, I guess it works similar to Tailwind UI, where you can just sort of copy and paste the examples into your code. So the project uses a lot of these as well. But yeah, this is sort of like really nice UI that you can go and add to your project. Is there anything else? The accordion is like a nice component, of course. Delete account, that looks cool. As an alert dialog. But yeah, anyway, take a look at this. I know a lot of projects are starting to use it, and if you're wondering, like, where did like that component come from, where does the slider come from that's used in the project, or the switch, so a lot of them are taken from here. And also, what I really like about this is you don't need to sort of use it for everything. You use it where it makes sense. So here, for example, and they're also, because you're copying and pasting the code in, so you have a ton of flexibility to define sort of what it looks like. So here, like the slider probably it's mostly defined, but here you can see these are the components that are being used in the project. And if you didn't want to use this accordion, just want to use another one, so we don't need to use the accordion from this project. So I like that approach, and I like that you can sort of just copy and paste in the code, and here you can really sort of just define things as you want. It doesn't force you too much. Here we just got a toast, and actually in this project it doesn't use toast from this library. It uses toast from Sona instead. But yeah, anyway, take a look at that. Last thing that I noticed in the project, I don't actually know where this is used, but Command K, if you've used Superhuman, Linear, whatever it is, I guess Vercel even has it. So this is a really cool package that you can add that basically gives you this this component. Well, I think it's headless what they give you, but unstyled, but you can copy their example and basically have this component ready to use. And here you sort of have the search. Here you can see what it looks like on Linear and so on. Let's see if I do A. Anyway, yeah, this is a really cool package that I sort of am very tempted to go use at some point. I've wanted to add Command K and sort of build Command K packages myself for so long. So that's really cool. Here you can see it's as easy as that to sort of go and add it. I wonder if we can find it in the project. Like, where is, I see CMDK is used here. It's not used. Let's see where it is used. CMDK, where is it imported? Okay, so I see one place in the tag section it's imported. So I don't think he's using the full power of the package. Here we see command Anyway, you can sort of see the tag, whatever these tags are on the site, they're using something around that. So that would be really cool to try out. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. If you're new here, I'm trying to do a video like this every week. Most of my videos nowadays are about open source repos. A lot of them have been around Next.js and Tailwind and Prisma and that sort of stack. I'm going to keep doing them one a week is the aim right now. Future videos might be on things like cow.com, more sort of open source projects to go and learn from. I think there's so many things you can learn from these open source projects. And yeah, if you enjoyed, it means a lot to me if you could subscribe, share it with your friends, and until next week.